And this is my warrior in Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 has had many surprises for me. The game itself, I didn't know if I'd really like the design. That was one surprise for me. But the surprise for the warrior was that I expected it to be a primarily greatsword, axe. Ooh, there's a ranger over there in trouble. Ads are eating her alive. She already had to use her heal bad at the beginning of the fight, so help her out. Now back to this champion. But I expected to be using the greatsword. When I started the game, I saw all these warriors running around with greatsword. A lot of them really enjoy it, and I found I didn't like it that much. What did surprise me is the longbow. The warrior is quite an archer, in my opinion. I found myself using longbow more than anything else. I matched this up with a sword, a one-handed sword, and a war horn in my offhand. There's many weapon sets available to characters in this game. And they match well. It doesn't always work out. You see, in this game you have, it depends on the class. Longbow for the ranger is a power, direct damage weapon. On the warrior here, it is a condition, a damage over time weapon. So I try to match up weapon sets. So my other weapon set is the sword warhorn, and that is conditioned, so that works out. But sometimes weapon skills I just don't like, and occasionally I do mismatch weapons, just because it works so much better for me, even though the damage types don't really match up. But sometimes in this case they do. For the ranger, I found the build I kind of like where things match up. Direct damage with a longbow and a greatsword. I do really like the greatsword on the ranger, and it's quite an irony. I like the greatsword on the ranger and not on the warrior. I like the longbow on the warrior, and I use the longbow on the ranger, but I don't really like it. It matches up well. It's the best match that I can find for the build. They nerfed the ranger axe. I don't like the axe anymore, which was condition damage, but it had a really great utility. I don't like the changes they made to it, so I stopped it and I just went all power. I said, okay, that'll do it. I'll just do what I should do, maybe all power build, and went to the longbow for the ranger. But the ranger, I'll tell you why I think the bow on the warrior is so much superior. I feel like there's always a tool available to be used. Most of the time, when I'm running with this longbow on my warrior, it always feels appropriate. I always got a tool to use for the situation. The ranger, I find that I'm using the auto attack a whole lot. You know, there's just not enough abilities on it that are I don't know. It's got one really good damage ability. It's got a good damage AoE ability with a long cooldown. It always feels like what I need is not available. And it's not a bad weapon. Like I said, I use it on my ranger all the time. I use it with my greatsword, but I never have that feeling with the warrior longbow, and I always do when it comes to the ranger's longbow. And I just think it's actually a much better archer. So let's see, let's go up here, see what's going on. Second part of this event should start. I'm probably going to stick, I've been using longbow entirely here. I'll probably find an excuse here, or absolute need, to switch to my sword soon, so you kind of see what that's like. The sword, it's condition damage, puts bleeds on dots. The conditions are damage per time. And I basically cut, slash, and stab things while running around, and I let them slowly bleed to death. And that's the nature of a dot spec, a damage per time spec. I kind of like getting these enemies coming through here in a bottleneck, and I can start, hitting them with my longbow. Oh, War Beast, I hate these things. These things have an instant knockdown. Oh boy, there's respawns behind me. And another. And they're going to, okay, I'm going to switch, okay, time to switch to the sword. And I bet you this beast is going to knock me down. That instant knockback they have, and there it is. Oh, that pisses me off. Okay. Now, these guys have ranged abilities there, so I'm going to line of sight. I'm going to run behind here. That war beast is dead. Now, the ranged guy had to come back here so I can cut them both down. Oh, I just chopped his, what the hell? There's their weapon rack here to break your shit, too. knock me down. I get so irritated with these knockdowns. It's just me. I can avoid most of them, but I do have a problem in this game where I don't always accurately read the animations on enemies, and sometimes eat that knockdown. I shouldn't. It's not really a problem, but it really turns me off. But those war beasts are the worst because they really don't have a precast. They really don't have an animation to even see. It's boom, they get close to you, they do it, and you're down. And it just aggravates me. I have decent health regen on this guy. It's highest health pool and heavy armor in the game, so you would think it's the most tanky, but I'll tell you what, my Necromancer, which has light armor, same health pool size, but light armor is much tankier. And of course there are no tanks, healers, or DPS in this game really. It's not a hard Trinity game. Okay, some more sword fighting here, but I think I'm going to try to move away from this edge. God forbid one of these damn war beasts come, they can knock me off that ledge, and it's very, very aggravating. Yeah, but I actually find my Necro is more of a tank than my warrior. I think I really actually get more use out of my Necromancer. He just seems to overall, but the warrior is fun. Okay, let's see what's going on down here. Things cleared out, but they will be returning. They respawn here. It's what I love about this game is the open world, but open world means respawns all the time. Let's see what's happening down in this area, and oh, someone did respawn behind me. I just got out of a ground AoE. Well, let's see how far he'll follow me. The leash range on enemies in this game is quite large. I'll bet he will follow me all the way down here, and he did. There he is. So let's start fighting. These guys are probably going to get floods of enemies coming out of here now because I bet they're all respawning in that area that I just left. So, many people think the Ranger is, oh, it's a range class. The Ranger is an archer. Well, he can be an archer. The Ranger doesn't mean ranged class. There are no ranged classes in this game. Every class can fight at range and melee. They get weapon sets for each. Ranger means it's a character. It's someone who wanders the range, wanders at range, wanders the frontiers. You know, patrolling the scouts, the frontier, the borderlands. It doesn't mean that they are a ranged class, a ranged fighter. And the longbow's okay, but the ranger actually does very well in melee. I like the greatsword. And now some classes are better at range or melee than others. Like for instance, I find the Mesmer very, very awkward, although I really like the Mesmer. I'm still not happy with it in melee. The melee weapon is the one-hand sword, rather like the warrior, although it plays very different. The problem is, its number 2 attack roots you in place. Now it does have an evade on it, so that's good. But it feels very, very wrong in a game where movement is paramount. I only stand still once in a while, in rare circumstances when I'm at range. This game really prioritizes movement to avoid as much damage as you can. And that anything to me that roots me in place is irritating. And I can put up with it in some ways, and other ways I just can't stomach it. I'm not so sure how I'm going to handle melee on the Mesmer. I'm going to keep trying to play it and try to get used to that, but I find I'm always just running away and kiting and using a ranged weapon because it seems so inappropriate for a very fragile class like the Mesmer to be not really fast and mobile with the sword. And the auto attack, the main attack on the sword, is very slow too for the Mesmer. That's why I don't like the greatsword on the, one of the reasons I don't like the greatsword on the warrior. It's one big attack on, was it 100 blades? I think it's 100 blades, maybe 1,000. I think it's 100, not 1,000 blades, the name of it, but it roots you in place. And it feels so wrong to me. It feels so clunky. I just can't get used to it. I don't like it, so I just don't use greatsword. I wish I could. I have some really great, really nice greatsword skins that I use for my Guardian and my Ranger. Guardian uses greatsword. But I don't like that route, and that's kind of the problem. That bastard got me again. Ugh, I hate that. But that's kind of why I don't like the Mesmer sword. I really wish I could, because there's times I'd rather do melee. And I'll show you. I'll do a video melee on the Mesmer, and just show you what it's like. I end up sending in illusions and kind of running around and doing nothing, waiting for my opportunity to hit with the sword, because it just doesn't feel right. Maybe I got to find a better way to do it. But anyway, if you want to play an archer in Guild Wars 2, I mean, by all means, do a ranger. But I would also suggest really try the warrior with the greatbow. It's really like the ranger without a pet, and the bow's better. I really feel that the bow is much better. So I hope you kind of like this. Hope you got something out of this. I'll cut this off here, and I'll go find something else to do, and maybe do a mesmer video, ranger video, something like that. Maybe my guardian. So catch you later.